Excellent. We've returned with episode 8 of Pawns and Patrons, and our primary party is hanging out here in the swamps with the dead corpses of 2 colossal leeches. Now, has everybody, just really quick, who has a level 1 character marked down 2 additional XP for that level 1 character?
Yes.
Cool. Good. Don't want to forget that.
Wait. How much? What?
2.
2 HP for the level 1 character only. Yeah.
2 experience points.
Okay.
Yeah. And while the party stands around in the swamps deciding whether or not to continue searching for tracks or whether to strike out on the hunt and see what prey they uncover, you've currently earned a +2 to your final roll, incidentally. Let's have a brief interlude where we check back up on Hall Duday.
Mm-hmm.
So, Henley and Fiona.
You're all dead.
What are the 2 of you doing? It's been like, 2 or 3 hours since the party has set out on the hunt. Fiona, you've got a large pot of chicken soup bubbling away on the stove. You've appropriately dealt with the carcass and washed up. And Henley, have you just been languishing in bed this entire time?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I would imagine Henley tries to get up, but the various anyone who's left behind, if they see Henley kind of stirring, will tuck them back in, swaddle them so that they can't move.
Mm-hmm. Now, the only people here are Fiona and Reb Ruiz. So,
well, I guess Fiona then.
Yeah, Fiona. So Fiona's been in the kitchen.
Yeah, if you wanted to get up, it would be actually not a challenge to avoid other people here.
Well, okay, then I guess Henley tries to get up and physically cannot.
Okay, that makes sense. Awesome. And Fiona, Rib Ruiz comes in and says, "What cooking?"
Well, I do have a question about that, actually. It does say that Fiona came with a pound of herb in her backpack. Yeah. I had assumed that was all one kind of herb, but is there any chance that any of this would be medicinal herb?
I think that it is, in fact, cooking flavored herb. Let's see. Let me look at Fiona's character sheet. What was your profession? What is your profession, Fiona?
Fiona is a forester, so it's actually a variety of herbs. Some of them for fun, some of them for business, some of them for, whatever she can use them for. She kind of found them around.
Wait, for fun? Can you explain the fun part?
Fiona has been, her nickname is the Furnace. Fiona has been smoking the entire time she's been trailing this party.
Incredible. Yeah, are any of them medicinal? So here's the thing. I think you might have some if you're lucky, but you're a forester. You don't know the kind of healing or proper preparation for these herbs. It might be the sort of thing where, in your foresting duties, you gathered herbs for the local midwives and things like that, without being the person who prepares them and uses them and applies them, things like that.
There wasn't one I would chew up and spit into a wound and be like, it's fine.
Right. But let's do a luck check. And if you roll a 15 plus, then you have medicinal herbs that would be helpful to Henley if someone were able to prepare them properly. So, sorry, my mistake. I need to figure out the proper terminology for this. Not luck,
sorry.
but roll your luck. And if you get a 15 so this is the one where we're trying to roll high. If you get a 15 or more, you will have succeeded.
No.
Unfortunately, I feel like Fiona made room in her herb satchel for the recreational herb by getting rid of the medicinal herb fairly recently.
That's so Fiona.
And maybe she's looks in the satchel and remembers the weighing of the 2 kinds of herbs and tossing the medicinal herb. Yeah. Nope.
Yeah. Well, the soup tastes great. It's got lots of herbs and spices. Cannot wait to serve this to Henley.
Reb Ruiz frowns and he says, "Don't like chicken soup."
Well, it's not for you.
like sticky glutinous stew.
Well, make that for yourself then.
He gestures to the second small pot that is bubbling away on the stove and lifts the lid, and you see like a gray porridge that's like, you can basically scoop it like ice cream.
Fiona looks at the porridge and looks at Rebra and looks at the porridge and just kind of like pats him on the arm.
Awesome.
I'd like to take this soup up to Henley, and I'm trying to like calm them down, make them feel at any way comfortable, maybe break the fever. I don't know how to solve this poison issue though.
Cool. Yep. You spend a little time caring compassionately for Henley, who, you know, is sick, but not so sick that they can't sit up in bed and have a hearty bowl of chicken soup. I personally would like to imagine that this does help Henley feel a little better, if not quite strong enough to stand on their own two legs.
Aw.
Henley, are you a fan of chicken noodle soup?
Oh, absolutely. As a chicken butcher, are you crazy? Chicken noodle soup is for the soul always.
Yeah. In fact, I think that we should roll from Fiona to see just how good of a soup she made.
Oh.
Rolling low won't mean terrible soup. It will mean like average home kitchen soup, but rolling high here will mean like exquisite restaurant quality soup. Go ahead and give me a luck roll.
That's some good soup.
You made a high quality home cooked soup. You probably used some of the local tubers that were around in the kitchen. Maybe you even took some of that flour and whipped together some like Southern style dumplings to fill out the soup. There's a good soup there for sure.
I imagine this is the first time that Henley kind of stopped like hissing and wheezing and glaring and just kind of like snuggles down in bed and maybe takes a little nap.
Amazing.
She's like, there you go, you little weirdo. Like, she's so charmed by Henley.
Fiona, was there anything else that you wanted to do while Henley was settling down? Or do you just like plop yourself down in the corner and, you know, play cat's cradle?
Well, I do have one other question about the herbs in my satchel. Would any of them be herbs that would assist me in putting a giant muscular frog to sleep?
I think it's entirely plausible. You might have harvested some. I don't know if your skill as a forester means that you are excellent at preparing and administering such herbs, but let's find out. Give me a luck check. Or not a luck check, sorry, a luck roll. Once again, like 15 plus, you've got exactly what you need. Nope.
Yeah, no, I maxed out at 10 there on the luck, I think. Am I rolling that right?
No, you're rolling a d20.
Oh, no, that's a 1d20. My bad.
You know, you got a 25% chance of having exactly what you want, but I'm sure that you could find something like that. If you were going to go out and like look through the swamps, you probably could recover some specific herbs.
Okay. Well, if at any point Henley looks like they're feeling well enough to be left alone, maybe Fiona will go take a little walk around the swamps. Just like the nearest area that still feels safe.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, go ahead and let's take a look at Fiona's character sheet. What do we think this would be? I think it would mostly be, it basically just be luck, like whether or not Fiona would find the herbs that she's looking for nearby. You're looking for a DC 10 this time, 10 plus, and you found what you're looking for. So go ahead and roll.
Yeah, she knows like the flowers are orange, so she's looking around. She's got to find the perfect. Oh, look, poppies.
Absolutely, yeah. You go like behind the old chapel. And growing out like immediately back behind the chapel are like a cluster of bright orange and red flowers, exactly as you wanted. You found the poppies, and they've all like gone a little bit to seed, so they've got all of the seeds right there ready for you. So yeah, you trim them up and bring them back. What are you doing with them when you get back in? Are you trying to process them into some sort of like edible format, or are you gonna like mix them in with your recreational herb and offer?
Oh, not for me. Now I noticed Reverie really liked the stew he pointed out. And he kind of like even insinuated he was expecting me to prepare him some or to buff it up. You know what? I'm gonna do that for him. I'm gonna go and alter the stew.
Cool.
And then when it's ready, I'm gonna bring it to him. Wherever he's like sitting about, I guess.
Now again, like the preparation of these herbs is something that is not in your history. You're not a poisoner, you're a forester. You're not a medic, you're a forester. So I think you're rolling at a d10 here. So roll 1d10 plus your luck, and on a 10 plus, you've done this well.
Did I do that right? I have 10 luck?
It's plus your luck modifier, unfortunately.
Yeah,
so
you're right. That's not it. No. That's
so what you have done is you have dramatically improved the flavor of the sticky glutinous stew. And so Reb Ruiz takes it and he starts shoveling it down and he says, good stew. Not like chicken. He looks bright-eyed and awake after eating this delicious meal that you've brought to him. Thank you. Time for work.
No problem, buddy. I'm just trying to look out for, my own. Anyway, I'm sure you do the same for me. And she's gonna try and turn it into like a solidarity play, like she's befriending this guy.
It absolutely works. He gives you a big thumbs up. His like bicep bulges as he does. And then he says, once again, time for work. He steps back into the servants' quarters area and then comes back out with a shovel. And then he walks out through the front of the house.
Do I have time to ask him what he means by work?
He shouts over his shoulder, dig.
Digging your graves. I'm not paranoid at all.
Yeah, this is gonna be fine. She's just gonna kind of follow and watch from a distance, and maybe as a forester, this is something she could rely on her skills for.
Yeah, totally. So you're trying not to be seen?
Yeah, like I'll let him get out the door a bit, and then watch from the doorway. Let him get down the path a bit, and then watch from behind a tree.
Yeah. This isn't hard, and he's not particularly trying to hide what he's doing or anything like that. He's also like not looking around behind him. So you follow him, and you feel pretty confident that he's not really fully cognizant that you're there. He thinks you're still inside tending to soup. He walks a little ways out front and then walks off to the side, and he stops in front of like a soggy pit that has already been dug in the like loam of the swamp, and there's like a mound of earth next to it, and he just sticks the shovel in the mound of earth and starts filling in this soggy pit.
He's like, it's a big like bog pit, kind of softer ground than everything else. He's adding to the bog pit, or he's taking out from the bog pit?
He's filling in the pit.
Got it. And where's he taking? What is he filling it in with? Just other
There's like
dirt?
a mound of wet earth next to it that he's
okay.
in. Yeah.
Implying that this was dug up, he put something in there, and now he's reburying, maybe?
Could be.
Is the assumption Fiona's left with.
Do you want to try to sneak close and see what's in there?
So he didn't forbid me from following him. I would like Fiona to kind of like approach him where if he were to turn around, he'd be like, buddy. And I'd be like, hey, I wanted to see what was up. What's work? But as surreptitiously as possible, I'd like to take a look in the hole before he sees me.
Totally, yeah. You walk up and he doesn't even turn around. He just keeps on working. I think he grunts as he hears you like approach or whatever. You surreptitiously look into the hole and there's nothing in there. It's just an empty hole that he's filling with wet earth.
I'll ask him what's down there.
He says, dirt.
Anything else?
Mud.
So why are you putting more dirt in there? It seems all dirted up.
He points down. Hole.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Who told you to fill this hole?
He shrugs. Work. And he just goes back to his work.
Wow.
Filling in
this
this hole.
Called out.
Yeah, this is a mystery for Fiona, but she's clearly not getting much more out of him. So I guess in the time she has where she's not caring for Henley, she's gonna just keep looking around for anything that would, like any other dirty tools that might have also been near the hole, any dragging lines to the hole.
So you're like investigating that.
Yeah, kind of not trying to give myself away, but like any blood around, any torn fabric.
So this like the waters and like muddy soil of the swamp is really hard to show anything. There's no like drag lines, there's no blood or anything like that. For all intents and purposes, it looks like someone dug a hole and then started filling it in.
Work.
Are you gonna go check in the servants' quarters to see if there are any other tools?
I mean, she accepts that people have to have hobbies, but yeah, she's gonna go and just kind of be like, well, he's digging this hole. Like, what else was kind of used? Were there,
Cool.
Yeah, what else is dirty?
You head back in through the entrance hall and back into the dining room and then back through the kitchens. And then you step back through the swinging door that leads into the servants' quarters. We cut back to the crew out in the swamps. Swamp friends, Strej, Babs, D, Sky, Scribbles, Agnes, Evie, Beskri, D'Artagnan, Chattanooga, Rachel, and Anna. What do the 10 of you want to do?
It bit me.
What bit you?
The leech. It bit me. The leech bit me.
Oh.
Bit you?
Look. Help. Help for D. Anyone help for D?
You want us to squeeze something?
Fine.
We know now about leech fever. Babs will pour some ale on it.
That would probably do it. Thank you.
Right, maybe, yeah. Smart. Good job, Babs.
It feels cool and fizzy.
Babs like fixes everything.
It really does, doesn't it? Says Vestry.
Awesome.
Well, guys, like, we've been out here for a while. Do we want to, like, bring the leeches back? Is this, like, a successful hunt?
Can we eat leeches?
Ew.
No.
Well, then, like, do we keep going?
Yes, the moss
Yes.
elk awaits.
Yes, let's keep going then.
Are you gonna keep tracking,
Yes.
or is it time to hunt?
Does Scribbles think
difference?
think we are in an area where moss elk are likely to be?
Scribbles, I think you're like, from what Scribbles knows of moss elk, which, they like wading in like waist deep pools that are coated with like duckweed, and then just like munch on the duckweed on top. So like you're in waist deep water, but it's more like what you've got here are like patches of reeds poking up out of the waters. So Scribbles thinks that you're close, but you'd have slightly better chances of finding a moss elk if you actually found like a nice patch of duckweed, and that would be one more roll on the tracking task.
Babs sets off. We go.
Okay. Babs.
Can Scribbles try to guide Babs again?
Yeah, so that lets you roll with a d20. So go ahead and roll 1d20 minus 1. And on a 10 plus, you have met with success in your tracking, and on a 1 through 8, you've been found by something.
Not
Whoa!
20!
Babs leads the party forth, following the advice of Scribbles, and with a a few minutes walk, stumbles upon a clearing in all of like the large, overgrown, twisted like willow trees, where there's a large field of duckweed, and in the middle is an enormous elk whose entire back is covered with moss, whose antlers are hung with Spanish moss, and whose eyes burn a bright green.
I want to cast Charm Person on the moss elk.
Let me look at this for a second here.
I'm looking up the spell right now.
Any mundane living humanoid can be affected normally. Druids can also use this spell on animals. Wizards can attempt to use this spell on monsters and undead with a -2 penalty, and attempt to affect outsiders with a -4 penalty. So, as you are a wizard, I think I will let you do this, but with that -2, I'm going to classify this moss elk as a monster for the sake of this spell.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll let you do that. So go ahead and roll your Charm Person
Come on,
check.
big money.
Oh man, so that's an 11. Let's take a look at how that lands on the chart. 2 through 11 is lost and failure, but a 12 is a success.
No.
Do you want to
Burn luck? Yes.
well, burn luck or burn stats, basically spell burn? You can just spend luck for this too.
Oh, I can burn any stat?
Yeah, so spell burn lets you burn strength, dexterity, or constitution. And you regain 1 point per day.
Oh.
Yep.
Strength, dexterity, or constitution?
Yeah. The thing is that as a wizard, your luck does not regenerate naturally. So actually, for you, it's actually better to spell burn and burn away your strength, dexterity, or constitution.
Yeah, I'll take a hit to my strength.
Okay. So just so you know, the bigger the number, the better. A 12 or a 13, the target makes a will save or be dazed. A 14 through 17, the target makes a will save or falls under the caster's complete control as if it were her friend.
Oh. We want that.
Then it looks like you're going to want at least 3 points.
All right, so I'm going to take 1 from intelligence.
Can't do intelligence. Strength,
wait.
dexterity, or constitution.
I only have strength, agility, stamina, personality, intelligence, and luck on here. Am I not seeing it?
That's because I'm using 5th edition names, and the words that I mean are stamina and agility. Strength,
Gotcha.
agility, and stamina are the ones that you can burn.
I'll just take it from strength. I don't need to lift stuff. So
Cool.
I need 2 more than I already took 1. I need 2 more to make 14, you said.
You have 11, so you need 3 more to make it 14.
Right.
12, 13, 14.
Yes. Yes.
Which is how I count math.
We said the same thing, but I was saying it in a really confusing, silly way. So yes, I take 3 total spellburn points from my strength to get
Cool.
a 14.
So let's see. I want to know what your special thing from Charm Person is. Your mercurial effect is Psychic Shield. You gain +2 to AC and Will on the following turn from this. So what does it look like when you cast Charm Person that this Psychic Shield appears around you?
Let's see. So I'm charming someone and I get a psychic shield and willpower. So I think what it looks like is, you know, when you meet those people that like they walk into the room and they're just that kind of person where it's like, oh, everyone recognizes that this is like a compelling person that has power just from looking at them somehow. There's like an X factor.
Yep.
Suddenly Babs looks like that, and there's like a perfect little highlight on her cheekbones too, and like her muscles look a little bigger, like something like it's not noticeable unless you look for it, but all of a sudden when you look at Babs, you're like, she can have whatever she wants.
Awesome. Super cool. And would you roll 1d6 for me, please, to see how charm person manifests.
Please be good. I want this elk. Roll d6.
This is a this is a cosmetic. Your charm person manifests as a flash of light. So this elk must make a will save or fall under the caster's complete control as if it were a devoted friend. The target will not perform actions that are suicidal or which a devoted friend would not otherwise perform.
I have extra will now. Does that help me?
It's the creature that needs to make a will save as opposed to you. So unfortunately, this doesn't benefit you in the moment. But, elk, not the strongest willed creatures in the world, I can tell you. Okay. I wonder what the saving throw is for that.
Well, that's why I was wondering if it was like opposed willpower.
Let's find out. Let's read about spell saving throws. Spell checks, spells reversing. Maybe under saving throw. Saving throws 2094 106. 106 spell checks. Saving throws against spells. In general, a saving throw against a spell effect uses a DC equal to the spell check. There you go. So the DC for this is 14. Check it out. That elk is completely under your control. Now, interestingly, charm person in this game is like a true mental domination. So just reading this block. Unfortunately, the target's willpower must be forcibly subverted for the caster to exercise control, so it is but a shell of its former self, operating at a -2 penalty to all rolls, saves, checks, and ability scores while under the wizard's control. The target receives another save to break the charm according to its original intelligence as follows. Intelligence 3 to 6, 1 month. Intelligence 7 to 9, 3 weeks, 10 to 11, 2 weeks, 12 to 15, 1 week, 16 to 17, 3 days, 18 plus next day. So this elk, being an animal with intelligence of 3, will make a saving throw a month from now to see if it breaks free from your charm person.
And during that month, we'll become best friends, so it won't even care.
It won't even care. While affected by the spell, the target is marked by a sign of the caster's control. Please roll 1d4.
Ooh.
Aren't we eating it?
Nope, not anymore.
3. This elk's posture and facial expressions somehow resemble Babs.
It's a drunk elk.
It's just kind of a drunk elk.
That's absolutely what it is. It's standing there sort of like listening to the side. Its head around to the other side. It stumbles over towards Babs, and then it like pushes its mossy snoot up into your chest.
I'll never let anything bad happen to you, ever, ever. And I pet it. We're going to be best friends. Babs is like, I'm going to ride on your back, and we're going to be best friends forever. She like puts her forehead against the elk's forehead, but like too hard, like dunk.
Yeah.
But what about the feast?
Are you trying to eat my best friend?
I thought your best friend was this other person over there.
This is my best friend now.
What about the horse?
D'Artagnan's also my best friend, but like in a different way.
Are you gonna eat the horse?
No. We don't need any friends.
At that moment, Strej, that you notice.
It's not Strej that was saying that. It was, I don't know, Beskri.
Beskri. It's at that moment, Beskri, that you notice the water under the duckweed rippling as of a large and especially juicy fish swimming.
Catfish.
Yeah, catfish would be good.
With a few moments scrambling, the party, with all of their combined might, can procure and secure a catfish.
Yes, please.
Yay!
Like, catfish are actually huge. Did y'all know how huge catfish are? How big are catfish? Yeah, the average size of the species is 4 feet to 5.5 feet, and fish more than 6.5 feet have been found, but are rare.
I knew they could get big, but I didn't realize the average size.
These fish are huge. They are known to exceed 2.5 meters, 8.2 feet in length, and 100 kilograms, 220 pounds in weight. So I think the one that you found is like a 6 foot long catfish, probably 80 kilograms, 160, 170 pounds.
Wow.
It's bigger than 2/3 of my characters, so.
Yes.
So I guess we'll
drape it across the back of D'Artagnan and or the elk and or Chattanooga as you carry it home.
Yeah. Well, Biscuit uses her rope to tie it.
Awesome.
D'Artagnan can carry it because the moss elk has to carry me.
That seems entirely fair. Now, Fiona, you've just come through the swinging door from the kitchen to the servants' quarters. You find yourself, in a short hallway. Let me tell you what the deal is. There's a narrow hallway. It's like 4 feet wide. It's very narrow. It's not like spacious and comfortable like the rest of the house. There are 8 separate small rooms with doors off of this narrow hallway. One of the doors is open. At the far east end of the hallway, off to your right, there's a large armoire shoved into the back of the hall. And at the far west end of the hallway, there's a set of spiral stairs leading up. That's far to the left.
That's the only exit from this hallway, that besides the one I'm coming through?
Yes, and then of course all of the rooms.
Got it. She hurried back, so she knows her friend is going to be digging for a while, and then it's, whatever amount of time back. So she's kind of got it in her head how quickly she can just sort of go down the hallway and peer into each room as quietly and stealthily as she can until she notices something worth exploring further.
Yeah, cool. Are you just going in order of what door is closest to you? Are you starting from the armoire side and working toward the stairs, or starting from the stairs working towards the armoire? How are you organizing your search?
Where I came in, the armoire is at the far end, eastern end of the hallway, right?
Yeah, far to the right, and the stairs are far to the left.
Okay. She's sort of gonna zigzag back and forth across the hall, getting to the end of the hallway.
Cool. Yeah, you start opening doors and peeking in. Most of these rooms are empty, dust covered, haven't been used in years. Nothing's going on here. You open one of the rooms and there's an incredibly messy, mussed up bed. 5 bowls that are dirtied with sticky glutinous stew, and a set of gradiated dumbbells along the wall.
That looks like my friend's room, so I'm going to go in and just take a little bit of a closer look around that room. But also the first thing I'm going to do is quickly make the bed, not nicely, and then put the food out in the hallway, so if he happens to come back, I'd be just straightening up.
Cool. There is a spot in the corner where there's a little bit of mud on the floor, and if you look closely, you can see that the wooden floorboards there have been chipped just a little bit as of a metal implement being set down hard.
Oh, but not chipped like it's a stash and you could pick it up, right?
Doesn't really look like it. It looks like someone set down a shovel and chipped the wood a little bit once or twice.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's just that this is his shovel is all the information I'm learning here. He takes it to bed with him and takes it off to work with him.
Yep.
So it doesn't seem like any other implements that he would use, he would probably treat as personally. Is there anything else in the room that I could look under the bed?
Other than the dumbbells. Yep.
Oh, man, he's from Jersey. We go back out in the hallway and we keep looking. He didn't do laundry, but he went to the gym.
The next room over is the one with the open door. And right away you can see that there is a simple, very neatly made bed in here. And on the north wall, painted directly onto the plaster, there's an amateur's copy of the portrait of Staram Dudet painted on the wall. Below the portrait, there's a simple desk with a dagger sitting on top of the desk.
Can I tell anything about that? Is it like a fancy dagger? Is it like ornamental?
It is ornate. In fact, as you get closer, you can see that it's actually a very fancy item. The hilt is formed in the form of a cruel, frowning frog's face with a protruding tongue, which is, of course, the dagger itself.
And that's sharpened for use, not like a decoration?
It is sharp.
Oh, no. Has it been used? Would I be able to tell?
Like, do you pick it up?
Oh, that looks cursed as heck, and Fiona's pretty superstitious, so she's gonna, like, get real close, like, eye level on the desk with it, and, like, kind of look around with it.
Awesome. Yeah, you look closely. It's a very clean dagger. There's no blood. There's no, like, nicks or scores. It's very obviously well taken care of, well sharpened. That's all you can see.
Any writing on the desk, or if nothing there, I'd like to go through the drawers.
There's nothing else on the surface of the desks. Give me a, let's see, Fiona the Furnace. Give me a luck check. The button that says luck check. Hey.
9.
That works. You rolled under your luck, so you're successful. And you like open a couple of the drawers, and it's kind of that thing where like you hear a thunk when you open one of the drawers, and the drawer itself is empty, but you heard something falling down and like thunking into place. And so we see Fiona pull the drawer out and then look in the space behind the drawer. It seems as though there was a journal that was sitting upright against the back behind the drawer, that when you pulled the drawer out, it made the journal fall down, thunk. And now it's lying flat.
Great. Well, I'm going to take that journal. I'm going to put everything else back like I can, and then I'm going to keep looking around.
There's nothing else that you find in here.
And then I would probably check the armoire in the end of the hallway, and then just like pop my head up the stairs to see where it goes. But time is ticking, so I'm gonna get out of there soon.
You go down, you pull on the handle of the armoire, it's locked, and also it very obviously has been like shoved into place. It's really tightly fit in this hallway. There's like scrapes along the wall where like splinters of the armoire have broken off. It was done quite a long time ago, so like there's no like fresh broken wood around or anything like that, but yeah, someone like shoved this back in here.
Can I look underneath it or anything? Are there any spaces around it?
No, it's completely flush with both of the walls, and it's like a huge wooden piece of furniture sitting on the floor, so there's no underneath.
And I can't open it. Okay, well, I'm gonna take note of that and check upstairs as well. I don't want to get too far into things without the rest of my party to support me.
Okay, you like begin poking your head up the stairwell, and you see that it spirals up somewhere up above you. Are you gonna head upstairs and just see what's there?
It looks like a lot of steps. Do I have any sort of sense of how long it's been till my friend might be wrapping things up? I'm giving myself a very conservative time limit of...
You're fairly safe.
Okay, yeah, let's check it out.
Yeah, okay.
I have an excuse to be here.
Start tromping up the stairs, stepping fairly quietly, until you come to just like a small wooden door at the top.
Which I casually open, because I'm not doing anything wrong.
You slide open the door and you step out into the ballroom.
Oh. Is it the...
You're right next to the stage.
Huh. Well, that's good to know. Yeah, I'm going to close the door behind me and walk out through the ballroom and go check on Henley.
Cool. Henley, how are you doing?
I think Henley's actually finally just like napping.
Awesome. Fiona, do you take this moment of quietude to peruse the journal?
Yeah, she's gonna, she checks on Henley. Henley's sleeping in the middle of this big bed, so she's gonna like kind of just pick a spot next to them and settle in and read her book that she found.
Let's see. I'm gonna I'm gonna share this with you and let you read it to everybody. If you look in your journal tab in Roll20, the one that looks like a folded over newspaper, you should see an old journal handout.
All right, so she's kind of like, she has to read out loud. She's not a great reader, and so she's kind of reading this to Henley. Let's see. The old patriarch Starum passed away today. I see the grief in Lady Olna's eyes. The house stands empty, but for her now. She asked that I draw the curtains and lay out her blacks for mourning. I thought the family line of Dudet is ending. Nevertheless, I can serve her well. Ooh, and she turns to Henley and she's like, I wonder if this is the servant guy.
Henley goes,
fever has taken her. She raves about a great festival. Oh, she Fiona just starts skipping around because it's kind of like this weird old guy's, just kind of personal stuff. But he's talking about all the friends that came, and she received an invitation as well, and she's got to go, but where? I don't know. There's no such place deep in the swamp. I'm alone now. I buried the Lady Olna today, interring her in the Dudet mausoleum in accordance with her wishes. The old family, this noble line, this house, it deserved more than this ignoble end. Patriarch Starum, I can't help but feel I failed you. Oh, he thinks he failed. Oh, he doesn't know there's more Dudets. How strange. In the course of organizing the Lady Olna's possessions, I have found an invitation to a place called the Frogomance, with a map drawn on the back, which I have reproduced below. Oh, it's right here, Henley. That's wild. I'll place it with the rest of her things and the unused keys in the ballroom guest room. I know where that is. Okay, and then she keeps reading. The map is a hall, or a sketch of Hall Dudet. Oh, there's more entries. Hold on. This house is so empty, and yet I do not feel alone. Instead, I feel a warmth, a welcoming. Hall Dudet has been my home, and so it shall remain. Mine, my home, my life's dedication. I was really possessive here. I give my life to this house, to this hall. Yeah, okay. Oh, there's one more. I always knew it. But those canny frogs at the school have helped me see it. The line of Dudet has not ended. Oh, we figured it out. No, not at all. It still lives. But despite the truth of the blood, the noble line of Dudet does not belong here. It will never belong here again. My dedication has kept this house alive. My sacrifice. Oh, hold on. There's actually another one. When the blood of Dudet flows my veins, then shall the house have its true heir. Oh, Henley. This isn't good, bud.
Henley is like blanket here and now glaring at Fiona like, you woke me up.
All right, you stay right there, bud. I'm gonna go check some things out. Yeah. Fiona is actually gonna go to the window and look and see how close the group is to returning, because this is a little beyond her.
You see 3 things. One, Rebruis is patting down a mounded lump of earth in the field out ahead where you saw him before. And the mound, now that he's filled in the hole, looks like nothing more than a grave. 2,
I knew it!
you see the party itself of the 10 other adventurers coming back. One of them riding on the back of a gargantuan elk with like a huge catfish draped over D'Artagnan's back, with Senga standing on top of it and like pointing forward. 3, somewhat closer than that, Naverst is coming back to the house with 2 elderly frogs, sort of like bent over, wizened, wearing like black servant's robes following him, each one holding on to one side of a large trunk that they're carrying between them. And that is where we should take our 3rd and final 5-minute break before we come back for the end of today's.
My chat is giving great suggestions of what the elk's name is, so if you have any, say them during the break, because I think we may have hit some good ones.